What if I told you that erectile dysfunction after 60 isn't just common? It's often caused by something completely reversible, and that the real breakthrough doesn't come from another pill, but from something far simpler and far older than modern medicine would ever suggest? I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a professor of urology and men's health specialist with over 30 years of clinical experience helping men just like you restore their confidence, circulation, and performance naturally and safely. Most men think once they lose their edge, it's gone forever. But here's the truth. There's a natural, golden remedy sitting in your kitchen cabinet that could completely transform your erections, your energy, and your blood flow in just a matter of weeks. And almost no one is talking about it. It's called turmeric water. And when prepared correctly and taken consistently, it delivers 10 powerful, scientifically backed benefits that support firmer erections, reduce inflammation, boost nitric oxide, balance hormones, and protect the very systems that keep a man vital after 60. In this video, I'll walk you through each of these 10 benefits and show you exactly how to prepare turmeric water the right way, the best time to take it, and one critical ingredient you must include for it to work. And before we begin, I want to share the story of a 67-year-old man named Robert who thought his best days were behind him until one glass changed everything. Before we dive in, if you're a man over 60 looking to reclaim your energy, performance, and confidence, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another natural health tip made just for you. And if this topic speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, and let me know how I can better support your journey to lasting vitality. Let's begin with the very foundation of every strong, lasting erection. Something your body produces less of as you age, but that turmeric can help restore almost naturally. It's called nitric oxide, and it may be the single most important molecule for men's performance after 60. Benefit number 1. Turmeric boosts nitric oxide, the molecule of erections. When men come into my office, often with their heads down and hope fading from their eyes, the first thing I explain is this. Erections are not just about desire. They're about blood flow. And blood flow depends on one tiny molecule that most men have never heard of, nitric oxide. Now, I remember working with a patient named Dennis. 64 years old, soft-spoken, used to be a long-distance cyclist in his younger years. He told me, "Doc, I still feel desire, I just can't follow through." What Dennis didn't realize was that his body had slowly stopped producing the nitric oxide he once had in abundance. And without enough of it, the arteries that feed blood into the penis can't relax and open wide enough. That means weak, short-lived, or even absent erections. No matter how much you want it. But here's where turmeric comes in. The compound at the heart of turmeric, curcumin, has been shown in studies to increase nitric oxide availability in the bloodstream. It's like turning the tap back on. When taken regularly, especially in warm water with a pinch of black pepper, turmeric helps the lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, function better, relax more easily, and allow blood to surge where it's needed most. In Dennis's case, after just 4 weeks of adding turmeric water to his morning routine, he reported something he hadn't felt in over a year: spontaneous morning erections. He told me, "Doc, it's like my body remembered what to do." That kind of transformation doesn't come from willpower. It comes from restoring your body's natural ability to circulate blood efficiently, and nitric oxide is the gatekeeper. Now, it's important to understand, after age 60, your body's nitric oxide levels can drop by over 50%. That's why turmeric becomes more than just a spice. It becomes a strategic ally, one that's gentle, natural, and proven to work with your biology, not against it. But as powerful as nitric oxide is, it's only part of the story, because the second silent killer of male performance is something even more dangerous, something that quietly builds up in your arteries, blocks your blood flow, and puts both your erections and your heart at risk. And the good news? Turmeric helps with that too. Let me explain. Benefit number 2. It reduces silent inflammation that blocks blood flow. One of the most misunderstood threats to a man's performance after 60 isn't something you can feel. It's something that works silently, slowly, and steadily against you. It's called chronic inflammation, and it affects nearly every system in your body, especially the arteries that carry blood to your most vital areas. I remember a man named Howard. He was 71, had been married for over 40 years, and he came to see me not because he had given up, but because he didn't want to. He said, "My wife and I are still close. I just wish my body could keep up with how I feel." His labs were mostly fine, blood pressure manageable, cholesterol not too bad. But when we looked deeper, one number stood out. His CRP, a marker of inflammation in the body, was elevated. That meant the inside of his blood vessels were inflamed, irritated, and less able to relax and deliver blood where it needed to go. This kind of inflammation acts like invisible glue on the walls of your arteries. Over time, it stiffens them, it narrows them, it blocks the flow of life, including the blood that powers your erections. And most men never know it's happening until it's already taken something from them. That's why turmeric is such a game changer. Curcumin, its active compound, is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories known to science. It works at a cellular level to calm the fire inside your blood vessels, reduce CRP levels, and reverse the damage caused by years of poor diet, stress, or aging. In Howard's case, we added turmeric water each morning, along with some light walking and a few simple changes to his meals. 6 weeks later, he sat in my office with a quiet smile and said, "It's coming back, Doc. Not just physically. I feel more like myself again." That's the part no lab test can measure. When blood flow improves, confidence returns. And when confidence returns, intimacy follows. Turmeric doesn't just help you feel better. It helps your body function the way it was designed to, even decades later. And reducing inflammation is the foundation of that restoration. But what if I told you turmeric doesn't just protect your blood vessels? It also helps rebuild your manhood at the hormonal level, where energy, libido, and performance truly begin? The next benefit is something that surprises nearly every man I meet, and it's one you don't want to miss. Benefit number 3. It supports testosterone, naturally. Testosterone is more than just a number on a lab test. It's a feeling. It's the quiet energy that gets you out of bed in the morning, the spark that makes you feel strong, assertive, and alive as a man. And for many men over 60, that spark begins to flicker. What's worse is, most don't even realize it's fading until their energy, drive, and desire slowly vanish. One patient I'll never forget was Larry. He was 68, a retired mechanic with strong hands but tired eyes. He told me, "Doc, I just don't feel like me anymore. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm just flat." That's the hidden cost of low testosterone. It doesn't just take away performance, it dulls your sense of vitality. Now, we ran his labs, and sure enough, his testosterone levels were well below optimal. But instead of jumping to injections or pills, we started with a more natural approach. And one of the most powerful additions to Larry's routine, turmeric water. Most people don't realize this, but curcumin has been shown to reduce oxidative stress in the testes, support Leydig cell function, the very cells that produce testosterone, and even lower excess estrogen that builds up in aging men. For Larry, we focused on daily habits, turmeric water in the morning, strength-building walks, good sleep, and week by week, something shifted. His voice had more edge, his eyes lit up again. He came in one morning and said, "Doc, I helped my neighbor fix his truck yesterday and felt like I was 40 again." That's the power of supporting your hormones naturally. Turmeric doesn't force your body to do anything unnatural. Instead, it creates the right environment for your testosterone to rise, gently, steadily, and without side effects. And here's the real beauty. When testosterone rises, so does everything else. Mood, motivation, erections, muscle tone, even the strength of your heartbeat, all of it begins to return. But boosting testosterone is just one part of the equation, because even if your hormones are strong, your performance can still suffer if your tissues are under attack from something more silent. something that slowly wears down your strength at the cellular level. The next benefit reveals how turmeric helps protect your most sensitive tissue from this hidden damage, and why it matters more than most men realize. Benefit number 4. It fights oxidative stress in penile tissue. There's a quiet enemy that wears down your strength over time, one that rarely gets talked about, yet plays a major role in why erections weaken, shrink, or become less reliable after 60. It's called oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming inside your blood vessels and tissues. You can't see it, but you sure can feel the effects. Slower recovery, less firmness, lower sensation, and more frustration. I remember one man in particular, Carl, age 72, a retired pilot. He sat across from me with a calm voice, but I could sense the concern beneath his words. "Doc," he said, "it's not that I can't get there. It's that it doesn't feel like it used to. It's weaker, less responsive, like there's something blocking the signal." And he was right. What Carl was describing wasn't just in his head, it was happening inside his tissue, where years of oxidative damage had made his penile nerves and blood vessels less responsive. This is where turmeric shines. Curcumin, its active compound, is a potent antioxidant. It neutralizes the free radicals that damage the sensitive endothelial lining of blood vessels and the nerve fibers involved in sexual response. That means turmeric doesn't just support blood flow, it helps protect and preserve the very tissue that makes erections possible. For Carl, adding turmeric water to his morning routine wasn't a magic fix, but it was a turning point. Within a month, he started noticing stronger responses. A few weeks later, he told me with a quiet smile, "Things are sharper, more alive." It's a feeling that's hard to put into words, but when it returns, you know it's real. The truth is, oxidative stress increases with age, pollution, poor diet, alcohol, and even emotional stress. It affects your heart, your brain, and yes, your performance. But when you give your body the right tools to defend itself, it starts rebuilding from the inside out. Turmeric is one of those tools. And when you protect your tissue, you're not just preserving function, you're restoring sensitivity, pleasure, and connection. But oxidative stress isn't the only internal threat. There's another hidden factor that steals men's performance quietly, especially if you've ever struggled with blood sugar or diabetes. The next benefit reveals how turmeric can help stabilize this internal imbalance, and why it's one of the most critical steps to reclaiming your full strength. Benefit number 5. It improves insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. There's something many men don't realize until it's already taken a toll on their health and their performance. It's how deeply connected blood sugar is to erectile strength. I've seen it time and again. A man walks into my office with low energy, poor erections, and frustration in his eyes. And when we run his labs, we find the same thing: elevated blood sugar or insulin resistance. Sometimes full-blown type 2 diabetes. One man I worked with, named Walter, was 66. Former firefighter, proud husband, and a man who'd never had health issues, until recently. He told me, "I just don't feel like I'm in control of my body anymore. I can't get the same results, and I'm tired all the time." When we dug deeper, we discovered his fasting glucose and A1C levels were high. His body was struggling to use insulin efficiently. And that was damaging his circulation in ways he couldn't feel until it showed up in the bedroom. High blood sugar harms the inner lining of your blood vessels. It impairs nitric oxide production, stiffens arteries, and even damages the tiny nerves that help initiate arousal and maintain an erection. That's why insulin resistance is one of the leading, yet most overlooked, causes of erectile dysfunction in older men. But turmeric has shown incredible promise in this area. Multiple studies reveal that curcumin helps improve insulin sensitivity, allowing your cells to respond better to insulin and helping bring blood sugar levels back into balance. It also reduces inflammation in the pancreas, where insulin is produced. In short, it helps your body function more like it did in your younger years. More responsive, more stable, and more in control. For Walter, we added turmeric water to his mornings, encouraged light walks after meals, and made a few adjustments to his plate. After 2 months, his glucose dropped, his energy returned, and he looked at me one day and said, "I feel like I've got my strength back." That's the transformation we aim for, not just treating symptoms, but restoring function from the inside out. But regulating blood sugar is just one piece of the puzzle, because there's another critical system involved in your energy, hormones, and performance. And if it's not working well, nothing else will. This next benefit reveals how turmeric helps support one of the most important yet overlooked organs in male vitality, and why keeping it clean may be the key to staying strong. Benefit number 6. It detoxifies the liver, your hormone factory. Most men don't think much about their liver. It's just one of those organs in the background, quietly doing its job. But here's what I often tell my patients, especially those over 60. If your liver isn't working properly, your hormones won't either. And if your hormones are off, everything from your energy to your erections suffers. I had a patient named Raymond, 70 years old, former music teacher, still sharp as a tack. He came in with complaints of fatigue, low libido, and stubborn belly fat that wouldn't go away. He told me, "Doc, I don't drink, I eat all right, but something just feels off." His liver enzymes were mildly elevated, and he had signs of estrogen dominance, which is more common in older men than most people realize. You see, the liver is responsible for breaking down excess estrogen and supporting testosterone balance. It also filters out toxins, metabolizes medications, and plays a key role in your metabolism. When your liver is overwhelmed, from age, poor diet, medications, or just years of wear and tear, it can't do its job efficiently, and that affects your mood, your energy, and yes, your performance in the bedroom. That's where turmeric plays a beautiful role. Curcumin stimulates the liver to produce more bile, which helps flush out toxins, support digestion, and reduce fat buildup. It also has protective effects on liver cells, helping reduce inflammation and oxidative damage within this vital organ. For Raymond, we kept it simple. Turmeric water in the morning, along with a bit of lemon juice and a few key changes to his meals. Within 6 weeks, he told me, "I wake up with more energy now. My mind feels clearer. And I've even started noticing things working better again." That's not magic. It's what happens when you clear out what's been slowing your body down from the inside. Your liver is your body's control center for hormones. When it's clean and supported, testosterone flows more freely, metabolism improves, and you feel more like yourself. Turmeric gives your liver the support it needs to do what it's been trying to do for decades, keep you vital. But hormone balance and detox are just part of the picture. There's another area where older men silently struggle, something deeply connected to performance, comfort, and even sleep. And turmeric offers powerful support there too. Let's talk about what happens when your prostate begins to fight against you, and how this golden root can help. Benefit number 7. It improves prostate health. And urination. For many men over 60, the first signs of aging don't show up in the gym or the bedroom. They show up in the bathroom, that slow, weak stream, the constant urge to go, especially at night, the interrupted sleep, the discomfort, and the quiet frustration that builds over time. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And in most cases, it's not just aging, it's the prostate. I remember a patient named Glenn, a 69-year-old former police officer. Stoic, tough, not the type to complain. But one day, after his third nighttime trip to the bathroom, he sat on the exam table and simply said, "Doc, I'm tired." Not just physically, but emotionally. He felt like he was losing control over something basic. And it was affecting every area of his life, including his relationship. Glenn was dealing with an enlarged prostate, also known as BPH. It's incredibly common in older men and can make intimacy uncomfortable or unpredictable. The good news? Nature has solutions. And turmeric is one of the most powerful among them. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, has been shown in multiple studies to reduce inflammation in the prostate, ease swelling, and even help slow the growth of prostate cells. It works by calming the immune response that often becomes overactive with age, which is what causes the prostate to enlarge and press against the urethra, leading to all those frustrating symptoms. When Glenn added turmeric water to his daily routine, just a warm glass in the morning with a pinch of black pepper, things began to shift. Within weeks, he noticed fewer trips to the bathroom at night, his stream improved, and perhaps most importantly, the pressure in his lower abdomen started to ease. One day he came in, smiled, and said, "Doc, I actually slept through the night, first time in years." That kind of relief changes everything, because when your prostate is calm and healthy, you sleep better, you feel better, and you're more confident in your body again. It's not about reversing time. It's about removing the roadblocks that stand in your way. But here's something most men overlook. Even with good circulation, balanced hormones, and a healthy prostate, you still need something else. Something deeper. To perform at your best. And that something isn't just physical. It starts in the mind. In the next benefit, we'll talk about the surprising emotional connection turmeric supports, and why it could be the key to reigniting real intimacy. Benefit number 8. It supports mood, confidence, and emotional health. When men talk about performance, they usually focus on the physical, blood flow, hormones, stamina. But behind every strong body is a stronger mind. And after more than 30 years of working with men over 60, I can tell you with certainty, when your mind isn't right, nothing else works the way it should. A man named Harold stands out in my memory. He was 73, a retired architect, thoughtful, measured, and polite. But behind his calm voice was a weight he was carrying alone. "Doc," he said, "I'm not depressed exactly, but I'm just not myself. My drive is gone. I feel distant, disconnected." And while his labs showed some hormonal shifts and mild inflammation, what stood out most was the emotional flatness in his eyes. The quiet sense of resignation I've seen in so many men his age. It's easy to forget that testosterone doesn't just affect your muscles and libido. It also influences your mood, motivation, and confidence. And when all three start to dip, so does your desire, your focus, and even your willingness to be intimate. That's where turmeric offers something truly special. You see, curcumin has been shown to support healthy levels of serotonin and dopamine, the very neurotransmitters that regulate your mood, memory, and feelings of connection. Several studies have even shown turmeric to be as effective as mild antidepressants in some cases, without the side effects. That means less brain fog, more clarity, and most importantly, the return of that quiet confidence you may not have felt in a while. For Harold, we kept things simple. Turmeric water in the morning, consistent walks, a regular bedtime. After about a month, he came in and told me, "I don't know how to explain it, but I feel lighter, more interested in things again, even in my wife." That's the kind of transformation that's hard to measure in numbers but deeply felt in life. Because real intimacy isn't just physical, it starts in the mind. When your mood lifts and your inner confidence returns, everything else follows. You laugh more, move more, and connect more deeply. In every sense of the word. But even with a strong heart and a steady mind, there's one more area you can't ignore. Because it's the one organ that often signals a bigger problem before anything else does. In the next benefit, I'll explain why protecting this critical part of your body also protects your erections. And your life. Benefit number 9. It protects your heart. And that protects your erections. There's something I often tell my patients. Not to scare them, but to help them understand just how connected their bodies really are. I say, your penis is often the first place your heart problems show up. And it's true. In fact, erectile dysfunction is frequently an early warning sign of cardiovascular disease. Why? Because the arteries that carry blood to the penis are much smaller than the ones that serve your heart. If blood can't flow down there, chances are it's not flowing well elsewhere either. One of my longtime patients, Bernard, a 70-year-old former Navy engineer, came to see me with a simple concern. His erections weren't what they used to be, but otherwise, he felt fine. No chest pain, no shortness of breath. Still, something told me to look deeper. His blood pressure was creeping up. His cholesterol was a little high, and further tests showed early signs of arterial plaque buildup. That visit didn't just save his performance, it may have saved his life. This is where turmeric becomes more than just a supplement. It becomes a safeguard. Curcumin has been shown to improve endothelial function, which is the health of the cells that line your arteries. It helps reduce LDL cholesterol, fight arterial inflammation, and prevent the kind of damage that leads to hardened, narrowed vessels. All of that supports your heart. And when your heart is strong, your erections tend to be strong too. Bernard took it seriously. He added turmeric water to his mornings, made some changes to his meals, started walking after dinner with his wife. A few months later, not only had his performance improved, but his blood pressure and cholesterol were down too. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I feel like I hit reset." That's what this is really about. Not just fixing one issue, but rebuilding your foundation, from your circulation to your confidence. A healthy heart means strong blood flow, better energy, and yes, a better love life. But there's one last piece to this puzzle, one most men completely overlook. Because even if your heart, hormones, and head are in the right place, there's something else you need to absorb and activate all these changes. And turmeric, once again, holds the key. Let me show you how. Benefit number 10. It enhances absorption of other circulation-boosting nutrients. When it comes to improving blood flow and performance, most men focus on what they take: vitamins, minerals, healthy foods. But what many overlook is something just as important: how well your body absorbs what you give it. Because if your body isn't absorbing nutrients efficiently, even the best diet or supplement plan won't deliver the results you're hoping for. That's where turmeric, or more specifically curcumin, has another hidden benefit that most men never hear about. It doesn't just fight inflammation or boost nitric oxide. When combined with the right partner, it actually helps your body absorb more of the nutrients that fuel circulation, testosterone, and cellular energy. One of my patients, Frank, age 65, had already made impressive changes. He was taking magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D, all crucial for healthy erections and hormone production, but he wasn't seeing the full benefits. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but something's missing." We looked at his routine and noticed a key piece was absent: black pepper. When you combine turmeric with a compound called piperine, naturally found in black pepper, it increases the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. That not only supercharges turmeric's effects, but also enhances the bioavailability of other essential nutrients taken around the same time. So we adjusted Frank's routine: a glass of warm turmeric water with a pinch of black pepper each morning, followed by his supplements 20 minutes later. A month later, his energy improved. His sleep got deeper. And when I asked about his performance, he smiled and simply said, "Better, just better." That's the kind of shift that happens when your body isn't just receiving the right tools, it's actually using them. Turmeric, when paired wisely, opens the door for other circulation-boosting nutrients to do their job more effectively. It's a simple detail, but one that can make all the difference. And now that you've heard all 10 of turmeric water's remarkable benefits, from blood flow to hormone balance, emotional health to nutrient absorption, you might be wondering, how do I put this all together? What's the best way to start, stay consistent, and see real, lasting results in my own life? That's exactly what I'll walk you through in the closing section, including how to prepare turmeric water the right way, and one final tip that could take your results to the next level. Let's wrap it all up. Conclusion. By now, you've seen just how powerful one simple glass of turmeric water can be. Not because it's some miracle cure, but because it works with your body, not against it. For men over 60, this golden drink isn't just about boosting erections. It's about reclaiming your strength from the inside out. You've learned how turmeric helps restore nitric oxide, the molecule that kickstarts blood flow, how it calms silent inflammation, one of the greatest threats to male performance. You've seen its natural ability to support testosterone production, fight oxidative stress in penile tissue, and improve insulin sensitivity. especially for men battling blood sugar issues. You now know how it cleanses the liver, your body's hormone powerhouse, and eases prostate swelling, improving both urination and intimacy. But what struck me most, as I've shared these stories of real men like you, is how often the change begins not with the body, but with the mind. When turmeric lifts your mood and restores confidence, it creates a ripple effect. Better sleep, better choices, stronger relationships, a sense of pride returning. And when you add in turmeric's ability to protect your heart and enhance nutrient absorption, the picture becomes clear. This is more than just a drink. It's a daily act of self-respect. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who once thought their best days were behind them. They were wrong, because the truth is, aging doesn't mean giving up. It means learning how to support your body in a smarter, more natural way. So if you're ready to give this a try, here's how to do it right. Each morning, mix half a teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder with a pinch of black pepper into a glass of warm water. Stir well. Add a squeeze of lemon or a teaspoon of raw honey if you like. Drink it on an empty stomach and wait 15 to 20 minutes before eating. It's simple, it's natural, and it could quietly become one of the most powerful steps you've ever taken toward restoring your vitality. Because at this stage of life, it's not about chasing youth. It's about owning your health, your performance, and your pride on your terms. And it all starts with one small change, one glass, one choice, every morning. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it. It really helps us reach more men who need this information. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone over 60 who could benefit from a simple, natural way to feel stronger again. And don't forget to comment below. I read every message, and your story might inspire someone else. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep creating honest, empowering health content for men, consider leaving a small donation using the link in the description. Every bit makes a difference.